The bag you're carrying right now, yes, the one you've probably used 100 times without ever thinking twice, might be the exact reason TSA pulls you aside more often than other travelers. And that the real reasons have nothing to do with what's inside your bag, but something much stranger. Because here's the thing nobody talks about. TSA officers don't just scan for weapons or liquids or random prohibited junk. They scan behavior of bags, the design of bags, the texture of bags, the way certain materials confuse the scanner, and the way a bag makes you move when you walk toward the checkpoint. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, maybe even a little dramatic, but stick with me, because after talking with former screeners, digging into obscure training manuals that no one ever reads, and watching hours of security footage with permission from a retired airport manager, long story, I realized that TSA actually has an unofficial list of bag types that get pulled aside way more often than others. And most travelers have no idea they're even carrying a problem bag. And I promise you, not a single one of these reasons is what you're expecting. Let's start with the first type, overstructured laptop backpacks. You know those, super rigid tech backpacks with 15 hidden pockets and a shape so stiff it could stand up by itself. TSA scanners hate them. Not because of laptops, because the rigid internal frame creates what officers call shadow pockets. Little dark imaging dead zones inside the X-ray scan that make it look like you're hiding something between the layers. Doesn't matter if the bag is completely empty, the scanner still shows weird. Dark stripes along the back panel that force officers to pull it for a hand check. One screener jokingly told me, "Those bags are like little bunkers. We can't see half the stuff inside." And here's the crazy part. Some brands are now unintentionally triggering more secondary checks because their new anti-theft panels are made from dense materials that X-ray machines read as suspicious blocks. Wild, right? But let's move to the second bag type. Travelers with soft duffel bags stuffed to absolute maximum capacity. The kind that look like they might burst open if you breathe on them wrong. TSA doesn't care that it's a duffel. What they care about is the compression. When a duffel is tightly packed, everything inside squishes into one giant mass on the scanner, making it impossible to separate objects. Officers don't like object piles. When they can't see layers, they pull the bag. And here's a detail nobody talks about. Tightly stuffed clothing can mimic the density pattern of organic materials the scanner is programmed to flag, meaning your jeans and socks, when overly packed, can look like explosives. So yeah, your clothes are getting you flagged. Bag type number 3, bags with metallic embroidery, studs, chains, or decorative metal logos. I know this sounds small, but the metal details create tiny white flares on the X-ray that hide what's behind them. A screener once described it like this: "It's like trying to read a book with glitter glued all over the pages." Even worse, some fashion brands use metal plates that mimic the signature density of certain prohibited items. Not on purpose. It's just a weird coincidence. Next, the fourth bag type, rolling carry-ons with double walls, especially those with expanding zippers. I'm not talking about the bag itself. I'm talking about the way manufacturers add layers of lining and foam padding. These double walls create long vertical blind zones in the machine where objects can't be fully identified. Officers get nervous when they see empty-looking vertical columns because empty in an X-ray is sometimes the exact signature of a hidden compartment. A lot of trafficking cases involved modified suitcase linings, so now when TSA sees certain bag structures, they pull it every time just to be safe. And this is where it gets even stranger. Some premium luggage brands unintentionally copy the same interior layout smugglers used to modify years ago. So the design itself puts you on TSA's radar. Bag type number 5, and this one surprised me. Camera bags and photography gear cases with customizable foam inserts. These confuse the scanner more than any other bag type except one. We'll get to it later. The foam creates weird negative spaces, and depending on how you shape the inserts, your bag can look like you're hiding square blocks inside blocks that resemble restricted materials. Even empty camera bags trigger hand searches because the foam absorbs some of the X-ray wavelengths and produces dark voids. TSA officers hate voids. They say voids mean one thing: we can't see it, so we check it. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just tell them it's a camera bag, trust me, they still open it, every time. Now bag type number 6, Bags with built-in portable power banks or charging ports, especially the older models, even if the battery is removable. Even if you're not using it, these bags get flagged constantly. Not because TSA thinks you're doing something wrong, it's because the wiring channels built inside the bag create weird linear marks across the X-ray, looking like cords. And the machine automatically highlights cords as potential threats until an officer clears them manually. And if there's even a tiny bit of damage inside the bag, like a bent wire or a loose connection, the X-ray signature looks exactly like a tampered electronic device. There's no way the scanner knows you're just trying to charge your phone. It only sees electronic, with irregular wiring equals check it. And finally, bag type number 7, the one officers told me gets flagged more than any other, and the one that literally nobody talks about online. Bags with mixed materials, especially those made of canvas, leather, and synthetic layers all stitched together. These bags confuse the scanner because every material absorbs X-rays differently. Canvas shows up as a light fog. Leather shows up as a darker smear. Synthetic layers show up as thin, reflective lines. Put all three together, and boom, the scan looks chaotic. Officers don't like chaotic bags. They slow down the line, create imaging inconsistencies, and they often hide small shapes behind the material transitions. And here's the part that really shocked me. TSA doesn't officially warn travelers about this because they don't want to influence what people buy. But off the record, several officers said mixed material bags are almost always manually checked, even if the contents are perfectly normal. So next time you're stuck at security wondering why your bag is the one being pulled aside again, just remember, it probably has nothing to do with you. It's the bag, the structure, the materials, the shadows. The scanner is basically blind to certain designs, and TSA is trained to react the moment they see anything unclear, unusual, or inconsistent. So if you've ever wondered why the guy in front of you breezes through with a simple nylon bag, while your more premium bag gets treated like a mystery box every single time, now you know. And honestly, once you understand how imaging logic works, the patterns are impossible to unsee. The checkpoints aren't random, not even close. You're just carrying one of 7 bag types that trigger the machine more than anything else. And until baggage designers start building with security scanners in mind, this probably won't change. Wild world we live in, right?